Crenshaw, and we are live from the 704 once again for episode 144 of the 815 Exchange. In my pretty big episode. Couple things circulating, of course, in the world of sports with playoff time, Succession. We'll talk about Succession when we get there, and just everything else, combat sports. We got a full episode today. It's also the last episode of the Couch, the last episode in this glorious building that I've called home for 3 years, and the last episode of me being a college student, which is crazy because I started this as a college student. So yeah, full circle here today. Full circle. Well, I don't know why I went almost into the Australian accent just then, but a full circle here at 144th episode of the 815 Exchange is, yeah, it's the last episode for a lot of things. Might be the last episode in the 704 for a little bit. So we will see. But yes, last episode as a college student. Very excited to get this out of the way though, because we got a lot of interesting things to talk about. Like I said, as always, remember to like, share, and subscribe if you guys are enjoying the content. And as always, timestamps are provided in the description. So if you're looking for a specific topic, you want to get straight to the main event, hear me talk about the NBA playoffs and Devin Booker playing out of his mind, feel free to skip ahead. Or if you really want to hear me talk about the Succession episode and Tom vs. Shiv, whatever it is, feel free to skip ahead. Long form content, I get it. But yes, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, let's get the show on the road. Yeah. Combat sports. You know we had to start off with combat sports. Nothing going on in Champions League or soccer, so it was pretty much de facto. UFC 288, live from New Jersey, I believe. Of course, it was headlined by Aljamain Sterling taking on the returning Triple C, Henry Cejudo. There we go. Cejudo. Gotta warm up the voice a little bit. Cejudo at 135 for the bantamweight crown. Henry making his grand return. Aljo seeing if he can defend the throne. And honestly, just I don't know why Aljo just can't have a title fight without any type of controversy. Like, it's every single time. There's just always some type of controversy or just something that's like, okay, yeah, he's champ, but a little asterisk, right? Even though I don't really think this one's deserving of an asterisk. It was a good fight. Don't get me wrong. It was a good fight. It was a good scrap. And honestly, I think Aljo won. So I don't really, it was a close fight, but I feel like I feel like Aljo won, right? Joe loved talking about the neck pressure throughout this fight, but you got to do something with it, right? Cejudo, he had his certain moments, but he didn't really do too much with it. Aljo was a little bit more successful in terms of doing something with it. So I think Aljo deserves to still be champ. Of course, after the fight, Dana, in full WWE form, full Endeavor, WWE UFC partnership form, bringing Sugar Sean O'Malley out to the octagon, and it was not their finest moment. I'm not gonna lie, it wasn't Sean's greatest promo, definitely wasn't Aljo's greatest promo. Yeah, it was kind of awkward, but you know what? Marab's still in the jacket. The Thriller jacket was kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie, I was kind of rocking with it, but nonetheless, that looks like that's being set up to be the next title fight. We will see. All right, we will see what happens and if that actually gets done. I don't know how long Sean wants to wait for that. I don't know if Sean's ready for that, to be completely honest. Sean's a dog. Of course, he's got all the makings of a potential future champ, but I don't know if that time is now. And I don't know if he's as well-rounded as Aljo, especially seeing Aljo take down an Olympic champion wrestler. He's moving on a little bit different time. Skill set might be a little bit too well-rounded for Sean, but we'll see. All right, we'll see. But for now, Aljo remains king at 135. But Law makes a statement and takes out Gilbert Burns. Now listen, Gilbert, all respect, he's fought like 3 times in the last 150 days, or like past couple months. Feels like every time I do a UFC card, we're talking about, oh yeah, Gilbert Burns faced so-and-so on this card. Unfortunately, it caught up to him because the man had one arm pretty much this entire fight. I think his left arm was compromised. I don't know if it was broken or what it was, but it was cooked. It was cooked, so Bilal cooked him, okay? And Bilal, we need to show respect where respect is due. We're a long way from that Leon Edwards fight where it was like, this guy's kind of a joke. He was trying to take the step up, you know. He only gets this draw because they eye poke. We need to give Bilal some respect. He has earned the title shot. He has earned the rematch. He's faced killers. He's come out of it. Yes, Burns was dealing with the injury, but nonetheless, Bilal still winning, got it done. Still winning, got it done, dominated. I think Bilal's greatest strength is how well he can follow a game plan and just how well-rounded it is. He's not a master of anything, but he's good at a lot of things. And being able to do that and have a good fight IQ and have, you know, a good coaching staff that you trust can do special things with that. Right now it looks like Bilal is. We will see what happens. But yeah, I think he deserves a rematch. I think he gives us a crack at Rocky. We will see what happens, but for now he takes out Burns. We finally have some motion in the strawweight. Yan Xiaoman KOs Jess Andrade in round 1. We have our new contender at strawweight. Jess Andrade, gatekeeper to the stars, has allowed you to pass. We will see what Yan does with it, but yeah, I mean that was pretty much a statement win, statement KO. Went out, took out Jess. Jess is a dog. We know this, and Yan went out there and starched her in round 1. So yeah, very, very impressed. It'll be interesting to see where we go from this. Of course, not too hard to get a title shot in women's divisions because they're not super strong. So we will see. But yeah, statement win for Yan. Continuing on with the rest of this UFC 288 card, Charles Jourdain works Kron Gracie because Kron came out looking like his uncle or granduncle? Granduncle? One of the two. But anyways, Kron had a game plan, as Dana said, from 1995. It's not going to work, all right? You can be, BJJ is great, all right? Gilbert Burns has shown you that you can go very, very far still in the modern UFC with great BJJ. Unfortunately, you have to have a more well-rounded skill set than just being an excellent BJJ practitioner, all right? You have to be a little bit more well-rounded than that. Kron Gracie is not. He's not. That's it. That's all. He'd hop on his back and be like, come here. Jordan's not falling for that. So yeah, just, I don't know. That was rough. I wouldn't be surprised to see Kron get released. However, he does have his family's last name, so he might be safe for now. Frivola and Kennedy Chunkwoo had highlight reel KOs in this. One against Drew Dober. I forgot who Kennedy knocked out, but yeah, just vicious KOs. Overall, it was an okay card. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh yeah, this was card of the year. It was okay. Had its moments. Aljo did what Aljo does. Of course, coming off the last one, which was Izzy versus Pereira, it was going to be hard to follow up. But you know what? It was alright. Like I said, congrats to Aljo, congrats to Bilal. They got it done. Now, boxing. Canelo. It's Cinco de Mayo weekend. You know what time it is. It's Canelo Alvarez season. He took on John Ryder for that undisputed 168 crown to defend it. And of course, Canelo did just that. He only gave a lot of respect to Ryder. Ryder was tough. Stayed in there 12 rounds. Maybe he could have stopped early, but you know what? He stayed in there 12 rounds. I mean, got the brakes beat off of him, but you know what? He stayed in there. He showed his toughness, you know? How many men can say that they survived 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez? You know? Not many. Not many. So congratulations to John Ryder, because that's the greatest achievement you're going to get out of this. Because, yeah, Canelo's not giving that up. He wants Bivol again. Understandable. But I feel like David Benavidez is like right here, and he's really the number 1 contender unanimously after taking out Plant. I feel like that's the obvious matchup to make. It's the matchup I want to see. Not that I don't want to see him fight Bivol again, but, you know, I don't know if Canelo, I mean, maybe he can. It is Canelo after all. But I don't know. But Bivol just might have Canelo's number. I'm not going to lie. I just think stylistically it's just not a great matchup for Canelo, but he wants to challenge. So we will see what happens, but I do hope it is David Benavidez next for the pound-for-pound king. I believe Canelo's the pound-for-pound king. Something like that. Y'all can let me know. But, moving on. Moving on to the NHL. Conor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are still, in fact, Conor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. And boy, oh boy, did the Vegas Golden Knights find that out. 5-1. It was a thrashing. A beatdown. A lot of these second-round matchups have been beatdowns. We'll get to the ones that were close. But this one was not close, okay? McDavid with, yeah, 2 goals, 1 assist. Ryder with 2 goals. McDavid with that filthy 5-hole goal on the break right there that he created because he's McDavid. Ties the series up 1-1. Of course, Vegas is not out of it, but yeah, Edmonton, they're riding away with momentum going into, I think, tonight or tomorrow, whenever the next game 3 is. But yeah, Edmonton looking really good. Looking really good. Again, once again, like I said last week, proving me wrong on the slander of them being the NHL's version of the Angels, all right? They're showing up here in the playoffs. We will see what happens. That photo of Evander Kane kissing out to the fan after being taken off for, I think, a fight was iconic. But yeah, we'll see what happens in Game 3. Right now, the Oilers got the momentum. The New Jersey Devils take out the Carolina Hurricanes. I regretfully inform you of that. And yeah, Carolina's still up 2-1, but yeah, Jersey, it was all Jersey. It was all Jersey on Saturday. 8-4, Jack Hughes, Luke Hughes, the Hughes bros in full effect. Jack had 2 goals, 2 assists, and beat up Sebastian Aho. Luke had 2 assists. Nico Hischier had 1 goal, 1 assist. Mercer had a hat trick of assists for New Jersey. Yeah, they just lit us up. All right, we got let up, which is fair. After we, beat the brakes. It was nearly as bad in Game 2. I think we won 6-1. You know, we dominated. We're up 2-0. So, you know, a little bit back to earth. New Jersey has their offensive explosion. Got to get it back Game 4. It's going to be pivotal in this series. It's going to be very hard for the Devils to come back from 3-1. But if they can ride this wave of momentum, Hughes bros keep it going. They tie up the series. We're cooking with something. And we'll be cooking something. We'll see what happens, though. Jersey gets the win here in Game 3. Florida takes Toronto out in Game... What is this? Game 2 or Game 3? Let me check. But anyway, Sam Reinhart. He delivers the goods. Sam Reinhart. Up and down career. A lot of people, when he was coming out, thought, hey, this guy might be the new superstar. He might be the one. You know, well, not necessarily the one in the sense of McJesus, but in the sense of, yo, this could be an elite tier player. But Reinhardt hasn't had the same glitz and glam. Took him a little while. He's kind of flourishing here with the Panthers. And here he got the game winner to move the Panthers up 3-0 and 1 sweep away of the Toronto Maple Leafs. The Maple Leafs, you know, got your... I see y'all got your round 1 series win, broke the streak, and y'all just stop playing. Just stop playing hockey. Bobrovsky with 22 saves, by the way, in this game. Great game for Bob. Nothing I can say that just isn't really obvious. Toronto, you should probably show up. Just show up, you know. Just show up and see what happens. It might be good for you. It might be good for you. You might enjoy it, you know. You never know. Just a suggestion. It is the playoffs, so Maple Leafs, it would be nice if you showed up. And Seattle, the Kraken take out the Stars to go up 2-1 in this series, 7-2. Matty Beniers continues to be great for the Kraken. 1 goal and 1 assist. Grubauer, 9.23 save average. They're going with 24 saves in this game. And yeah, they just spread it around. Yanni Gordy has been a revelation for the Kraken. He has been, he's just a championship player. He's like one of those players where, like, what was it, the 2K games, where certain players had championship DNA and they would play better in the playoffs or in the championship or in the finals. Gordy is one of those guys. He's a winner. Pure winner. He has been a net positive for this Kraken team, and yeah, he's been great. Been pretty much the heart and soul, as it seems like he is everywhere. But yeah, the Kraken went up 4-0, and this game is finished from that point on. They go up 2-1 in the series. We will see what happens, but you got to be impressed with the Kraken so far. I don't know what it is about these expansion teams in the NHL, but they're just moving different, all right? They've been moving different. So, congrats to the Kraken. We'll see what happens in Game 4. Can Dallas strike back? TV and music, which is really just, it's Succession, all right? It's Succession. We're talking Succession. Tom and Shiv. I literally had prepared because I was doing my notes as I was watching the episode. I had put down, typed up, I said Tom and Shiv back. Tom and Shiv are in fact not back. In fact, they are probably worse than they have ever been after one of the best scenes I've seen all year on television. Certainly one of the best scenes in the history of Succession, on that balcony in that argument, which just, they were hitting all types of blows. Telling a woman who is pregnant that you will not be a good mother. Now, I just don't think you would be a good mother. After I tried to get you pregnant for all these years, I've come to the conclusion that I just don't think you would be a good mother. I don't think you're a good person. You don't know how to be loved because you are broken. It was brutal. And this all could have probably been avoided if Shiv, would tell her husband that she is pregnant, but she refuses to. For a reason I understand, which is because nobody would take her seriously in this Game of Thrones we've got going on here in Succession. And she'd probably be, put off to the side because she's pregnant Shiv. But also at the end of the day, he needs to know that his kid is coming because, it's all screwed up, alright? Tom and Shiv, go out and watch the scene. If you can just find it on YouTube, it was a phenomenal scene. Sarah Snook, Matthew McFadden killed it. But Tom and Shiv are it's bad. It's bad. Roman is falling apart. Again, he just continues to fall further and further and further. Gary is now threatening to sue him if she just isn't released from her contract. She says she's out. Just Roman's falling apart. I don't know how this eulogy is going to go since apparently he's doing it or doing the grand speech at the funeral. I fear for Roman. I really do. Kendall is cooking and also not cooking at the same time, which is about par the course for our number one boy. But honestly, after this episode, he feels the most sane of the siblings. Lucas Madison, who looked like the star, looked like he was a genius, looked like he was untouchable, is also an idiot because everybody with any type of money or influence in this show is somehow an idiot. His numbers are... Alright, he accounted for 2 Indias, which you're like, okay, 2 Indias, 2 of a country, maybe no, that's like 1 billion people. So he's millions off on his, oh my God. It's a disaster, so Shiv had anxiety about that, thinking maybe she latched herself to the wrong person, because Madsen has that, and then the situation with Ebba, it's a disaster. Alright, everybody is falling apart on this show, and it is gloriously entertaining. We will see what happens next episode because it is election day and Connor is starting to, pick up some steam. It would be absolutely hilarious in Succession fashion if Connor Roy somehow wins the presidency. But we will see what happens. But yeah, Succession firing on all cylinders and everybody is falling apart. I did not get to see Guardians of the Galaxy, so listen, if you were here for the Guardians of the Galaxy review, next week, live from the Big 6 will probably be your best bet because I have not seen it yet. Because I was busy at Breakaway Fest, which was phenomenal. Had a grand time with my friends. And then, what did I do on Saturday? Saturday was also busy. I forget exactly what I was doing. But I was occupied there and could not get out for Guardians. But I heard it was good, which is good. Because Marvel needs a universally recognized this good movie. Because the momentum is stalled, let's be real. It has stalled. So... hoping it's good. We will see it next week, and we'll talk about that next week. But for now, I have heard nothing. Do not tell me anything. But until then, that is entertainment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we know why you're here. All right, we know why you're here. NBA, okay? NBA, you know why you're here. It's the main event. You're here. Let's get it. All right? No need for glorious introduction. Miami versus New York. Miami versus New York. The iconic Eastern Conference rivalry renewed again, and it's been blowouts. It's been kind of funny. This second round has been a lot of there hasn't really been too many close games. Especially in the 2 series I'm about to talk about. It's either been all or nothing, okay? Either just complete evaporation or... just for one side, just clicking on all cylinders. The other side, just having a terrible game. That's been it. All or nothing. All or nothing with the teams. So once again here, we had all or nothing. Miami gets the win with Jimmy Butler returning after his ankle injury. 105-86. Yeah, Butler had 28. Wasn't an efficient 28, but he had 28 nonetheless. Still remains one of the most dangerous people on the planet here in the playoffs. Bam had 17 and 12. Max with 19, Jalen Brunson with 20. And here's the thing, and I promise you, this is not just me recapping last week's NBA, even though a lot of the things are going to, be the same, like Harden dropping a 40 ball, and Devin Booker, I promise you, it's a different week. All right, I promise, okay? I promise it's a different week. But Jalen Brunson, once again, when the New York Knicks cannot hit the 3 ball, which is happening far too often for them to be a contender, they are not going to win. And they're probably going to have a very ugly game like they had in this game. Brunson goes 0 for 5 like he did last week, ironically so. 7 for 12. Yes, he had 20, but boy, was it an ugly 20. Randall had 10 and 14. Josh Hart had 15 and 12, but it was not enough. It was not enough. Miami, better, more well-rounded, more efficient, Spo outcoached. So it just, all heat in this game, all heat in game 3. They go up 2-1. We'll see what happens. But yeah, it's been all or nothing in this series. Another series in which it's been all or nothing, of course, is the Warriors and the Lakers. Game 3, all Lakers, nothing Warriors. 127-97, a 30-point blowout for the Lake Show. It basically hinges this series apparently on either AD is going to go off and the Lakers win, or Clay is going to go off and the Warriors are going to win. Curry and Bron are just at this baseline of performance that they're just going to be pretty much consistently doing what they do, bar the course for one of them going nuclear and completely stealing the game. It's been all either AD or Clay. Game 3, it was AD, okay? So that kind of rhymed. I didn't even mean to make that rhyme. That was kind of clean. Anyways, AD, 25 and 13 in this game. Bron, 21, 8 and 8 after an event, which we'll talk about in the roundup because young Bronny deserves his own segment. But yes, Bron and his defense. For all the slander we give Bron about his defense in his older age, which makes him sound geriatric, but I guess in NBA years he is geriatric. But for all the defensive effort things, his defense in the playoffs, and especially here against the Warriors, has been great. It was great in this game. That one possession where the Warriors were trying to get out on the break, and Bron all of a sudden remembered that he's one of the most athletic humans to ever walk the planet, and defended it like a prime Revis on the break, and got the ball away, and then almost ran over somebody, but managed to jump over. It was just a freak athlete play, and it was like, yep, that's Bron. That's the Bron we all know and love. And you know what? He's been playing great defense. So that kind of excuses the fact that he's not going off for 30 every game. But you know what? It's almost better for the Lakers that he's not going out for 30 every game, because that's not always been the best of cases, especially with him at the Lakers. Usually mean he's trying to carry. And for them to try to be a championship contender, he cannot have to carry every single game. It's not going to work. Deloading has been a big reason why Bron hasn't had to carry. He had 21 in this game. Chef went 9 for 21. Not great. The Warriors shot 29% from 3, and with a team as reliant on the 3 as the Warriors are, that's not winnable basketball. I know everybody wants to do the whole free throws thing with the Lakers and the discrepancy, but listen, if you miss that many threes, you are not winning the game. I don't care how many free throws the Lakers got. It's not going to happen. So I don't want to hear it. The Lakers are just a better team at, they're the number 1 team at drawing fouls in the league. I don't think that means they're getting a favorable whistle. I think they're just better than everybody else at getting to the line. If it meant they were getting a favorable whistle, they would have a much better record than they do, but they do not. But nonetheless, the Lakers get it done here in Game 3. I think Game 4 is going to be essential. Not that it's over if the Lakers go up 3-1. Definitely not. We know that with these 2 teams and with these 2 superstars. We know. But the Warriors are definitely in a more favorable spot if it goes 2-2 than if it goes 3-1. And the Lakers get a couple chances to close this thing out. While if you go 2-2, it's back even. So we will see. But for now, Lakers get the win. The Sixers and the Celtics. Now, yesterday was a much better game much better day, should I say, in terms of close games and playoff basketball. Much better. Much better than the blowouts we saw on Saturday. The Sixers and the Celtics went to overtime, and boy, oh boy, what a finish to this game. I mean, what a finish to this game. Tatum and Harden essentially going back and forth. And like I said earlier, listen, if James Harden goes off for 40, then the Sixers are probably going to win. Harden went for 42, 8, 9, and was clutch. Sent it to OT, and then won the game. The beard. Take a bow. Here are your flowers, okay? Because when Harden plays at this level, the Sixers are a dangerous, dangerous team, and a very, very tough. They're going to be a very, very tough team to beat. Because Embiid is going to do his thing. Joel had 34 and 14. The MVP is going to be the MVP. But when Harden can dial back the clock and put in performances like this, which I wouldn't expect him to do every game, but even if he can get close to this level, they're a dangerous, dangerous, dangerous team. JT in this game had 24, 18, and 6, not to be denied. So, just an absurd stat line for him. but could not get the game winner, or at least the game tied to fall, and the Celtics lose. Yeah, in the game winner because we won 116-115. But yeah, JT, not his most efficient game, but yeah, 24, 18, and 6 kind of speaks for itself. JB had 23, Brogdon had 19 and 8 off the bench. But like I said, the beard in the clutch, he was cooking. And yeah, he just wouldn't be denied. He just would not be denied. And the Sixers tied the series 2-2. They will head, I think, back to Boston for Game 5, and we will see what happens there. Another series got tied as the Phoenix Suns took out the Denver Nuggets 129-124, despite the fact that Joker went ballistic. Now, before we talk about that, let's talk about the Suns since they got the W. You know, it's always a good thing when they remember the fact that they have Kevin Durant. You know, it's rather important here, if you're trying to win a championship, that you remember that you have Kevin Durant on the team. And, you know, once again, the Suns remember that they do, in fact, have Kevin Durant. You know, one of the greatest players of all time, certainly one of the greatest players of this generation. You know, it's a good thing. He had 36, 11, and 6. Ease. And with KD's, you know, addition to this team, it has opened up Devin Booker in ways we haven't seen. Pause. But it is open. It is open book. I mean, it's unleashed him. Unleashed. We need to have a conversation. All right, and it is approaching. We might need to have a very uncomfortable conversation for a lot of people about one Devin Booker, because he is having the playoffs of a lifetime. Okay, this is a Bron Jordan-esque playoff run, and I don't use that lightly, in which Devin Booker is going on right now. The man is averaging, I think, yeah, 36, 6, and 12 in this game. I think he's averaging like 36 and 8 in the playoffs. That's not over like 1 or 2 games. That's not even in the series, though he's averaging 36 in the series. This is over the entire playoffs right now. He has been the best player in the playoffs. Devin Booker. We need to have a conversation. We need to have a conversation. Certainly the best 2 guard, I'd say, in the league. At least at this current moment. But maybe we need to talk top 10. I'm not going to go top 5. That's kind of steep. But top 10, we might need to have conversations about where Devin Booker ranks currently in the league, because he has been unstoppable for the Suns. And while I say KD is the catalyst, Booker has had massive influence on where this team has been able to go, especially with CP3 out. He went and got 12 assists in this game. He has been that guy. He has been that guy. And like I said, the Suns are my championship pick. Even without CP3, I still would say they're my championship pick. Even with Ayton getting bullied by Joker, still my championship pick. But a big reason about that is the way the book is playing. We'll see if he can keep it going. Shemet also have to give credit where credit is due. 19 points, 5 threes, I think, off the bench. So yeah, shout out to Landry. He was big time in this game. Joker had 53 in the 11. All right, the man was, I mean, this was ultra instinct Joker, okay? This was the best of the best Joker, MVP Joker, whatever you want to call it. Heath Ledger Joker, okay? This was Nikola Jokic in his finest form. He could not be stopped. All right, it's been very clear through 4 games that DeAndre Ayton can do absolutely nothing about this man. Can do nothing about him. And Ayton should not be mentioned in the star conversation at all. I don't care what numbers he puts up in the regular season. If you get bullied like this, now I get it, Joker's one of the greatest players of all time, but when you get bullied the way he is in this series, I don't want to hear it. I do not want to hear it. The Suns have nothing they can do with Jokic, which could be a problem if they end up having to face, say they get past the Nuggets and get like an Embiid, right? And he's dropping 40 and 20 on your head every game. That's going to be a problem. Unfortunately, however, for Joker here in Game 4, nobody else showed up. Yeah, no Jamal Murray heroics, no MPJ, nobody. It was just Joker. And he nearly got ejected, which might end up getting him suspended, which would be massive if he gets suspended for this. And I hope they don't, because it would just alter the series. But the Suns was just kind of messing with the ball with his boys after it went out of bounds. Joker wanted it back, ends up shoving the Suns owner. So now we have this big thing about whether Joker's going to get suspended. I hope he doesn't, like I said. I just let the series play out. It's been such a good series. Just don't. Please grant him leniency, please, NBA, please. Adam Silver, we are begging you. as everybody, every NBA fan that is not a Suns fan, we are begging you, please let the Joker play. Let him off this once. Because we need it. All right, the culture needs it. The league needs it. Let the series play out. It's been too good. But yeah, Joker goes off, but it's not enough. Canadian book, handling business. NBA playoffs heating up. We will see what happens and potentially have some conference finals matchups set up next episode. With that said, ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the Roundup. Motorsport. You know what time it is. However, it's Max Verstappen, okay? Red Bull are not losing it. They're not going to lose a single race. Unless Checo and Max fight for the win and crash out, they are not going to lose a single race this year. That car is a spaceship. I mean, that car needs to be put in whatever motorsport hall, all of the motorsport hall of fames, actually. The engineer needs a statue. That car is just so disgustingly better than everybody else. And then again, Max is also probably the best driver on the planet. It's not fair. It is not fair how much better Red Bull are, just better than everybody else. And the Miami Grand Prix was just another shining example of that. Not the most exciting Grand Prix because it was abundantly clear from the moment Max went from 9th to 2nd in 15 laps how this was going to go. Leclerc did not have a good week, crashed out in qualifying, which was the reason why Max even started 9th. Probably would have been on, the top row of the grid if he didn't get pole, if Charles does not crash out. But yeah, frustrations continue for him, frustrations for McLaren, frustrations for Mercedes. The only people that are upset right now are Red Bull and Fernando Alonso, which was the podium. So yeah, we will see what happens. Miami GP, all Max, you know how this goes. Denny Hamlin wins at Kansas, gets himself into the playoff, gets that win. Good race, really good race. Him and Larson went at the end. Very nice, clean, great racing. Two all-time racers, probably going to be on that 75 list. If they haven't already both been listed, I know Larson has. I don't know if Denny has. He might have already. But anyways, two all-time greats going at it. And yeah, really, really entertaining finish. And it also, of course, was entertaining because Ross Chastain and Noah Gragson were fighting on the grid. So that was always entertaining. And we'll probably be in a NASCAR montage very soon. But congrats to Denny. He gets it done at Kansas. It's also Connor Bedard. I didn't talk about this on the NHL before I talk Bronny. It is the Connor Bedard sweepstakes. It's the Connor Bedard lottery tonight. So, yes, good luck to your teams. The Ducks have the #1, and that would be really cool to see them with Zegras. But I would not bet on them because sometimes having the #1 odds can just kind of suck because somebody's probably going to jump you. But we will see. The lottery is tonight. Connor Bedard, generational prospect. We will see what happens. But I wanted to, of course, talk about Bronny, who's not a generational prospect, but he's a very good prospect. He has finally decided, and it is time to fight on as the boy is going to USC. Fight on. You love to see it. Yeah, even though I don't claim USC as much in basketball, I still do adore the school as I do in football, pretty much every other sports. But yeah, Bronny, Zay, Boogie, going to be lethal. I'm not going to say they're going to win the championship, of course, but that's a pretty good team. Should contend for the Pac-12, and that's a great guard rotation. But yes, Bronny's going to USC. Bron was ecstatic, very, very happy about that. It's been his it's been most of his post-game pressers talking about it, first in the James gang to go to college. But yeah, congrats to Bronny. Been through a lot, a lot of pressure, the injury, everybody, saying all this stuff, but, he's overcame it all, persevered through, and yeah, he's looking like an NBA prospect. We'll see what he does at SC, but yeah, that campus is going to be jumping. They got Caleb Williams and Bronny on there. It's going to be electric, and like I, told my boy, I was like, listen, if you have a girl that's going to USC and you are not going to USC, that is not your girl anymore. That is not your girl anymore. All right, they got all of the Max Prestige light skins. It's not your girl anymore. Break up with her for your sanity. Break up with her because that campus is going to be a madhouse. But yeah, the city is up. Brought it to USC. Fight on. We will see what happens. But for now, that was episode 144, and that is it. That is it from this era here in the 704. It's been a movie. It's where it started. So yeah, much appreciated. Mr. Blue Couch, some of you I know will too. But yeah, until next week, fly from the 336, Aljo, signing off.